What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have the weekly reset preview for January the 3rd, and of course, it's the first reset of 2023. And so this week we're getting the second catalyst for Revision 0, we'll touch on that, but we also have the arrival of the Iron Banner for the first time in the season, and that's coming with some nostalgic loot and a new game mode, so should be a pretty interesting one. But otherwise for reset, we'll get into this week's activities, the Nightfall, and that includes bonus ranks this week. Plus, we'll additionally cover the Eververse inventory, core content including raids, playlists, and Crucible, and as always, some of the rewards that we'll be finding in the game. So I hope you find the breakdown helpful today, but before we get into it though, online security is super important these days as we spend a lot of time gaming, browsing, and shopping in various places on the internet, which is why the video today is sponsored by NordVPN, and Nord is the best form of protection against DDoS attacks, hackers, and threats on the web. Nord comes with a dedicated suite of threat protection tools to secure against phishing, malware, and password attacks. Even if you're careful online, there's always the small risk that bad folks like this will get hold of account details through dodgy websites and use them to try and access people's private info. It's an unfortunate trend online in recent years, but as well as choosing a better password, which you should totally do, by the way, Nord has a dark web monitor which can detect if your credentials are being used by others online via your Nord email address. And that means you'll be alerted if it finds that your info has been distributed on a less than savory website, so that you can take action before the bad guys do. Additionally though, of course, Nord is the premier VPN option, creating a virtual location for our devices, which protects us against DDoS attacks that disrupt our connections when gaming, and stops them from hitting our actual network. Plus, it can also be used to avoid geographical restrictions on content, which is pretty awesome. There's a really good offer available right now, which you should check out, and if you head to nordvpn.com/houndish and use code houndish at checkout, you'll get a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months for free, and that comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And so don't go unprotected. Be sure to check out NordVPN, and all of the details for that are linked down below. Now though, as we get into the weekly reset content, one of the first things to touch on this week is the return of the Iron Banner. And what Bungie have said is that Iron Banner will return on January 3rd with a new game mode called Fortress, and we'll need to capture and hold zones while defeating opponents, but it comes with a Cabal twist, and the objectives will change once Keitel and her troops get involved. And they don't reveal any further details about the mode, but there's that sort of suggestion in their description that it could be a player versus player, but also a player versus enemy element to this, as we can see the Titan shooting at Cabal turrets on some of the capture zones. So Iron Banner this week has the potential to be pretty interesting. And of course, on top of that, we're going to get some updated rewards. So we'll see the return of the Dark Decider auto rifle and the Gunner Azak slug shotgun. Those have been updated with new perks. And additionally, we're going to see the return of the Iron Banner armor set from the Taken King era of D1. So it was a pretty popular armor set back in the day, especially the Hunter Cloak with the wolf's head. And all of that stuff is going to start dropping in the Iron Banner this week. So let us know in the comment section if you're going to be diving in to try and pick up some of those rewards. And of course, we'll see what the game mode is like when it launches on Tuesday. Up next though, I'm back to seasonal content, we're as always going to get more steps in the season quest, which is more than a weapon. Those particular steps are hidden at the moment, but we know that upon completing the steps for this week, we'll get access to the second exotic catalyst quest for the Revision 0. As far as we know, those quests are going to take a pretty similar format each week, and for week 2 we'll be able to access the pressurized refit, where the catalyst gives the weapon under pressure. So it'll be cool to try that out, and as always, we'll get another stat upgrade on the exotic intrinsic perk through crafting. So let us know in the comment section if you'll be jumping in to upgrade the Revision 0 this week as well. And as always, I'll keep you posted on it. And then that takes us to seasonal challenges. And so for week 5 right here, initially we have quick heists to complete a heist battleground in under 12 minutes. And additionally, there's timeless iteration to acquire the Vel's X pulse rifle. That's the ritual weapon from this season on Shaxx, the Drifter, and Zavala. And then with the return of Iron Banner, we have Iron Sharpens Iron to complete Iron Banner matches with bonus progress for wins. Plus there is Fell and Fallen to defeat Fallen and Hive bosses in Strikes or Vanguard playlists, and we need to get 5 Hive boss defeats and 5 Fallen boss defeats. But additionally there will be the ones that give us the upgrades for the Seraph frame. Bungie have classified those this season, so we can't see them in advance, but as always there will be a suite of challenges for the week on Tuesday's reset. Next though, moving over to the Vanguard, the featured Nightfall for this week will be the Glassway. We're still not 100% certain on the full weapon rotation, but we will be seeing Vanguard bonus ranks all week long, so if you want to level up on Zavala, it's going to be a good time to jump in. And then in the Crucible, as well as the Iron Banner, we'll see the return of Rumble, but bear in mind that Trials won't be up this coming weekend since Iron Banner has taken its place. And then for the raid and dungeon rotation this week, the featured activities are going to be the Vow of Disciple raid in the Throne World. Plus this week we'll also see the Duality dungeon featured, and both of these will drop all of their unique items with updated power relevancy. And then as we get on to the Eververse store for the week, for Tuesday's reset we'll see the Spill the Tea exotic emote, that will cost 3,250 bright dust. But we'll also see the Tenephor shell, I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's going to cost 2,850 bright dust. And then the transmat effect here will be Signal Intercept, which as always will cost 450 bright dust. Plus there's the shader, which is Empirical Imperative. Again, that will cost 300 bright dust this week. But additionally, we'll see the Bad Scene exotic emote, that'll be 3,250 bright dust, plus the Keeping Score legendary emote, which will be 700 bright dust. And then onto some of the exotic items. We have the War-Torn Peregrine exotic Sparrow, which will be 2,500 bright dust. The Simulation Shell, a cool exotic ghost shell right there. Once again, that's 2,850 bright dust. And then we get 3 exotic armor ornaments. So for the hunters, we have the Gilded Memento for the Assassin's Cowl. Each of these will cost 1,500 bright dust. We'll also see the Nouveau Parapet for the Titans, and that's an ornament for Titan's Rampart. And finally, the Alternate Conduction for Warlocks, which is an ornament for the Geomag Stabilizers. Always nice to get some additional exotic armor ornaments in there. But for the featured weapon ornament this week, we have the Felsic Pyroclasm, which is an ornament for Prometheus Lens. That will cost 1,250 bright dust. And finally, the Thumbs Down projection, a legendary ghost projection there, which will be 1,500 bright dust this week. So let us know down below if you're going to be picking anything up from the Eververse store. And next we get onto the Lost Sectors that'll be featured this week. So for Tuesday's reset, we're going to see Perdition, and that will be dropping exotic chest pieces. For January the 4th, we'll see Sepulture dropping exotic helmets. And then we'll get Extraction on January 5th, dropping exotic legs. Before moving over to the Dreaming City for January 6th, where we'll see Chamber of Starlight dropping exotic gauntlets. Ephelion's Rest on January 7th, dropping exotic chest pieces. Then for January 8th, it'll be K1 Logistics dropping exotic helmets. Before we finally get K1 Crew Quarters on January 9th, which will be dropping exotic legs. And over to the Dares of Eternity, on top of the recently updated red border drops in there, we can get some older world drops, so that includes this week the Scatterhorn armor set, as well as the Wild Hunt armor set from Season of the Hunt. And there are a bunch of Season of the Hunt and worthy weapons which will drop randomly on completions there as well. But if you're after the Ascendant Challenge this week, we'll see the Agonarch Abyss, which is accessed via the Bay of Drowned Wishes, so that's right next to the spawn in the Dreaming City. But if you want to find the collectibles and things like that in the challenge, we'll run some footage at the end of the video. And otherwise, for today, guys, that's everything we have to round up in the weekly reset, but as always, I'll keep you posted on the exotic quest, the updated Iron Banner, and other items through the week, so definitely get subscribed to the channel if you want to see more Destiny content. Let us know once again what you'll be up to inside of the game this week, but otherwise, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.
The current. You're so deep into the well.
Guardian down.